Hello and welcome to Classroom 205's Back to School Night little um, slideshow. My name is Miss Adriana, the head teacher of Room 205, and Miss Alejandra is my assistant. You'll see a couple pictures of her later. So a little bit about myself. I got a degree in early childhood education from Charter Oak State College. I have been teaching in early childhood education for about 12 years, two of which were here at the Maritime Odyssey Preschool. This here is a picture of our last field trip in the beginning of summer. I thought you guys would like that. So I wanted to start off with a few notes to parents to please have an ice pack in lunches. It is a state regulation and we do need those. To not send any gummy fruit snacks or candy, popcorn, or foods with nuts. The beginning, all those former snacks can get stuck in the teeth, and we also want to be sure to be nut free just in case there are any allergies. I'd also ask that parents please cut grapes in half lengthwise and cut hot dogs into small pieces so that no one may, unfortunately, so no one can choke on their food. And to please bring in a blanket for a nap because it can get a little bit chilly in the classroom, especially after running around, finally laying down, take a nap, your body starts to cool down. It can get a little chilly. And not that we need it now, but when the weather starts getting colder, we can start bringing in jackets. And I do have a space in the cubbies for children to have their jackets. I wanted to talk about a few rules that we go through in the classroom. Number one being to be safe, to make sure that we are thinking about our safety, thinking, oh, should I run in the classroom or will that make me fall? Anything that we're going to be doing in the classroom, I want the children to think, is it safe? If it's safe, okay. That leads to walking feet. We don't want anyone to be running around, falling, tripping, and maybe hitting a head, getting a bump. I also ask that the children have their listening ears and quiet voices because we want to talk to each other and listen to each other while we're talking, not scream and get mad and yell. That leads to keeping your body to yourself. It's nice to want to hug your friend, but it's easier for children to remember to keep your body to yourself instead of, having to say, no, don't hit, or no, don't touch your friend. Keep your body to yourself. And then if you want to hug, ask one of your friends for a hug. And that leads to being a good friend. We want all of our friends to be nice to each other, to have fun, to think about being a good friend. Anyone who is sad, they might need a hug, they might need a tissue, they might need a cup of water. Anyone who's happy might need a nice high five or a yay, let's do this. I wanted to talk about the themes in the classroom. So we've already had Ready for School for the past few weeks, but now we are starting the Hispanic Heritage Month. And after that, we will be talking about feelings because it's always great for children to recognize their own feelings as well as the feelings of their peers, their family, even us teachers. We will then move into My Family, to a whole month talking about members of the family, people we love, everything like that. And then we can talk about our community, how people in our community are helpful for us, how we can be a good, part of our own community. After our community, we will be talking about awesome animals, talking about life cycles of some animals, whether it be a mammal or a lizard, amphibian, or insects. We get to learn about the different kinds of animals. Then we will go into African American History Month, and then Imagine It, Make It, where we get to talk about expanding our own creativity, whether it be through art or if we are going to be building in the classroom. If we want to build this huge tower, we got to think, how are we going to do this? And then come up with a plan, and let's see if we can do it. After that, we will be talking about growing up healthy, what foods are, healthy versus non-healthy, sometimes food versus all the time foods, different foods in the food pyramid. Then we can talk about nature all around us, how nature is very important for humans, how we can also make nature better through recycling or anything like that. And then last, we will talk about moving on, getting our friends ready who have been here for the past 2 years, ready for kindergarten. My friends who are ready to go to kindergarten, that's the whole point. We're trying to get them ready for kindergarten. And then in the summer months, it could be anything that the children might be interested in, or something that I would like to teach them. This past summer we did force energy motion. The kids got to build things, got to play with ramps, got to paint and do art that way. So it could be whatever the children want with, say it be dinosaurs, or it could be something that I choose again. Okay, so our day is filled with many opportunities to learn through play. First, we start off with some breakfast. We have a little bit of free play. At around 9:15, we do circle time. So during circle time, we learn about the topic of the week, as well as the letter and the number of the week. And since this week we're talking about Hispanic heritage, we will focus on family, how to say some words in Spanish, like, mommy, papi, abuelo, abuela, everything like that. Talking about our family, getting to know our family, and then learning some ways that our family can celebrate, their Hispanic heritage if we have some in the family, in that school, in the class. So after circle time, we break out into centers. There's small groups that change little, we have several small groups that change toys throughout, and the children get at least 2 opportunities to work with the teacher, whether it be, say alphabet bingo, or it be subtraction using some small cubes, or we're talking about compound words. It'll be, the children always have 2 small group opportunities, one with myself and one with Mas Alejandra, to learn in a small group, as well as sometimes to play with each other. After our small group, we would end up having our extra activity for the day, whether it be drumming on Mondays and Wednesdays or science on Tuesdays and Thursdays. After that, we would have lunch, take a nap, wake up and have another circle time, and then we have free play and some one-on-one time with the teachers. Instead of a small group, it'll be one-on-one time with some of the teachers while others get to play at a table. And then it'll be time to go home. So I have some pictures of things that we've done in the class so far. Like here we have 2 friends that are working on cutting with scissors. So this was not, they weren't cutting a line. I just gave them paper and I wanted to see how they were cutting. And they cut it into small pieces, small squares or strips or triangles. And it helps to work on the fine motor skills, opening and closing the scissors, getting that pincer grasp, everything like that. We have over here 2 pictures. They were a science experiment that we did where we had apple cider vinegar in a bottle, and in the balloon we had some baking soda. So the children got to guess make a hypothesis on what the baking soda was going to do with the apple cider vinegar. And then they got to dump in all that baking soda out from under the balloon into the vinegar, which then caused a chemical reaction that expanded the balloon. Over here, we have friends that are playing with the Lego light table. So we have a light table which causes the children get to see what happens when there is something semi-opaque. The colors get brighter. And they're also getting to work on sharing with each other, building together, talking to each other, and figure out what they would like to do. And here in the corner, we have two children looking at a bug that we caught in the classroom. You know, sometimes it happens. Some buggies get into the classroom, a butterfly or a bee or a fly can fly in. We try to catch it in a safe way. I let the children look at it for however long they want. If we're going to be going outside at any point, we take it outside together and we set it free. More pictures in the class. We have a friend over here trying to offer some waffles in our dramatic play kitchen area. We have some more friends that are cutting and practicing using their scissors. We have a group working with Miss Alejandra on compound words. So we're talking about parts of a word and how some words have two parts. So say if we said the word ice cream, we could say ice cream. That has two parts. The first part would be ice. The second part would be cream. Put it together, ice cream. And here we have our ice cream dramatic play where the children get to play. They are working on sharing. They're working on math because they can scoop 1, 2, 3, or 4 scoops of ice cream onto their wooden cone. In the back, we have a cash register, so someone can be the cashier and they can hand out pretend money. And we have a menu back there saying 1 scoop of strawberry would be 3 cents or $3, and 2 scoops of something would be $4, or a banana split would be $5. Here are some pictures of our science. We have Miss Lauren, who comes every Tuesday and Thursday. When it's a beautiful day, they will be able to go outside, you know, and again, when it gets cool, to bring a jacket because we would have science outside. Here, the children were working on the 5 senses, and after Miss Lauren read a book to the friends, they each got their own bucket of tools to look at, whether it be an egg to try and hear, an Easter egg filled with seeds, or what are they, spices. So you could hear the spices, but also smell it. And then work on touch with dried leaves or some grass or some Play-Doh. So all of this is to make sure that we are getting your children ready for kindergarten. That is our ultimate goal, to make sure that everyone who comes into these doors are ready for kindergarten. So that we'd like them, by the time they leave us, to know the letters of their name as well as writing them out. They can count to 20. They know most of the letters in the alphabet as well as their sounds. So if we said today is Thursday, then the first sound of the word Thursday would be, but that can be a little bit tricky because Thursday is a TH, which will help when they are learning to read. That 2 letters together can make a whole different sound. So the T, and the H come together and make. We also want the children to be able to count to 10 while pointing at objects. We want them to have one-to-one correspondence. So if we have 10 fingers, then we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 without losing their spot. We want them to have some great fine motor skills, being able to cut the papers follow a line, whether it be a line or a zigzag or a curve, holding a pencil correctly with a pincer grasp instead of holding it with a fist grasp, and zipping up their own jacket, feeding themselves, buttoning up their pants after they use the restroom, stuff like that. And we are always looking for children that children can speak and express themselves. We want them to speak in full, clear sentences. We want them to try and retell a story that we just read, or even tell us something that happened using past tense the day before, like yesterday I went swimming, or understanding rhymes and compound words, again with the ice cream. Ice cream has two parts. And that is it. Parents can contact me through email at odysseyctadz@gmail.com or through class tag. Good night.